Hi, my name is Chris Morrissey. I'm the general manager of the customer experience practice here at Zoom. Is a part of the business that I'm very passionate about. I have been in customer experience for going on 30 years, and there is so much happening right now in the world that it's an exciting time to be in the space, but more exciting time to be at Zoom, I would say. We are actually helping brands reimagine and actually deliver differentiated customer experiences. Ultimately, what we're trying to get done. And the reason that's so important right now is more than ever, the switching cost for us as consumers to switch from brand to brand is very low. If we have a bad customer experience, we can go from a brand A to a brand B. And at the same time, as that comes low, the importance of customer experience goes up because that is a differentiator for brands where everything else is switching easy. So you can imagine in the role that I play, AI is coming up in almost every conversation I have every single day. Of course, AI is a part of our internal strategy at Zoom, not only for innovation and product roadmap and how we help our customers, how we adopt it internally, and how we become more efficient organizationally and leverage AI tools. But more importantly, it's when I talk to customers and when I talk to partners that are trying to figure out how to use AI internally to differentiate. And there's no wonder. I mean, it's changed. It's all over the place. We use it in our personal lives every single day. It's being adopted faster than the internet or smartphone or any other technology we've ever had. But in the world of business, it's a much more prolific rate. It's like what I call it's like the AI arms race, where there's this just absolute race for organizations to rethink how they organize, how they become more efficient, how they use tools and leverage technology, just not for technology's sake, but how do they use this to really find out a way to gain a competitive advantage by harnessing the power of AI? At the same time, there is a massive, massive trend of new AI solutions coming to market every single day. A lot of those are startups, VC firms, private equity firms bringing AI solutions to market. You have market leaders like Zoom innovating with AI solutions to market every day. So it's very overwhelming. You have this intersection now where companies are facing this explosion of offers of AI and this immense pressure internally to adopt AI to differentiate. And this puts brands at different places, right? They're at the experimental phase. Should I use it? I'm testing in finance. Maybe I'll try some marketing things. The reality is a lot of brands probably have 10, 20 different AI projects going on in different departments. It could be an individual trying something to make something better, right? Um, Now, the good news, I would say, in the customer experience world, which is the world that I live in, both within Zoom and the market, is AI is beyond experimental phase and it is in the adoption and rapid adoption phase. And that adoption is getting faster with generative AI coming to market. And with some of the results you hear brands talking about, where you'll hear 30 to 50% boost in productivity within the contact center or customer experience center leveraging AI. You'll have other leaders come out saying, we think we can reduce our agent count, our human agents, by 3,000 by leveraging AI and self-service. The investments are huge and it's not slowing down. But there is a challenge we face here. As much as companies are investing, as much as they're investing in AI and CX, the CX quality score is actually coming down. If you look at the the Forrester Customer Index score, which is a score that measures how consumers or customers feel about brands, it's in our fourth consecutive year in a row of decline. In the US, 1 in 4 brands had a decline in the CX quality. Globally, it's 1 in 5. And when we're measuring about CX quality, they're measuring things like effectiveness, ease of doing business, the emotional connection. Those 3 components measure the CX quality. So in essence, what we have is customers saying, I prefer value over cost. I want you to be effective. I want it to be easy to do business with you. I want to have an emotional connection with you. And brands are investing to make that happen, but it isn't coming to fruition, right? And it begs the question is why? Like they're making the investments in chatbots, they're making investment in co-pilots. They know what they're doing. These leaders know what they're trying to get done, but there is a challenge. At Zoom, we see 2 things happening in the market. One is like customer expectations are changing drastically across the market. They are taking the expectations they have in their very best experience. Take the best experience you've had. You don't care what the brand is. That becomes the high watermark for everybody. There is no more giving certain industries a pass because they may not, it may be harder for them to give customer experience. Like, no, I want this experience that I had with this brand that was really good for all of them. And then AI adoption, both as consumers, we're using AI all the time. We see customers using it. So we have this expectation of what AI can do, right? And it's a high bar there as well. But are we at the place where like technology's outpacing the ability to create connections with our customers? And the challenges we see is AI in and of itself is not a panacea, right? And we'll explore that a little bit and some of the challenges you have in customer experience. So at Zoom, one of the things that we've done to be very clear about what we're trying to help customers get done is come to market with what we call a connection first strategy. We want to help brands deliver connections for their customers, right, and their employees. It's a two-pronged approach. It is a connection first strategy in the CX business. And that's a stark contrast with companies that come in where AI first here, AI first there. AI first is a technology, it's an enabler, much like 4 years ago, it might have been analytics driven. Before that, it was cloud native. Those are technologies, those are enablers. But the truth of what we're trying to do is connection first. And to be clear, and I say this all the time, a connection first approach does not reject technology. It just refines its purpose. So if we know our strategy is connections first, then we know very specifically how to leverage technology, whether that be analytics or insights or AI or all of them together to drive an outcome. Um, so we know that people have rushed to deploy technology in silos isn't working. The customers are telling it's not working. The stats are the same. So we think there's a time for a different approach, and the challenge is hard. And as we go through, like the problem with AI is AI alone will not solve for customer experiences. And this is a very, very simple illustration to bring that to light in three common areas that we see things break down in the customer journey, or why AI by itself isn't a kind of panacea to solve all your problems. The first is reality is customer journeys are complex. They're complex because humans are complex. They're complex because processes at internal companies can be complex, and they try to simplify it all the time. But you need to make sure that the connection for the human, they can take the conversation anywhere they want to take it, and it follows the process of a company, and they feel valued and connected to the brand throughout. So if you're going to walk through a very basic, simple sample here is if I am a customer calling into a brand and I get into their self-service or a virtual agent and I start talking to them about a problem, that virtual agent needs to contend with the eventual outcome that it can't solve my problem, either because I, as a customer, say I don't want to talk to you anymore, or just simply because it couldn't solve it. So then I'm going to go on to a live agent. Does the live agent know that I was on with a virtual agent for 3 minutes before that, or does they have no context of what I was trying to get done other than I was transferring them from a virtual agent? And that lack of context content creates more effort for me. I have to repeat myself as a customer. The agent certainly isn't thrilled with the experience, right? Because they don't know what was trying to get happen. And you're actually creating, more effort on that experience. And then it's the orchestrated workflow across all this, because when all this is said and done, you have to update CRMs, you have to complete tasks and journeys, and you might have to change a shipping address, you might need to change a ticket, change the dates of a stay at a hotel. All that should be automated and all that should be seamless. And if that's not happening across in a unified journey, you're actually inserting friction for customers and agents along the way. So the other piece is how are you measuring success in each of these buckets? And sometimes success gets measured in silos as well. So take self-service. If I'm measuring self-service as containment only, like if the call started with a virtual agent and it didn't go on to a live agent, is that success? Yeah, it could be, but do you measure like, well, did you get their issue resolved? And was it a high sentiment score? And if it did go onto a live agent, did the agent know what they were talking about and have a quick journey thereafter? Because the reality is you can apply AI to virtual agents for self-service. You can apply it as a co-pilot or expert assist for an agent and make my job better as an agent. You can apply it in workflow orchestration, automate, update notes and updating systems. But if all of those are happening in silos, what you can in essence really do is create a disjointed experience that actually creates higher effort when the pieces are put together, that creates a worse experience for the customer. And then the third thing I talk about, which is a little bit less clear on the slide, but is a very important thing to talk about, is the importance of CX within an organization. Historically, customer experience or contact center was viewed as a department. If you look at the evolution of contact centers from the 60s to the 90s, it was a phone-centric center of excellence where you were the one department handling all my support calls. And then in 2000, 2010s, it evolved where, it's not phone calls anymore. We're going to take emails and chat and SMS and social media. But we still have this one center of excellence. And then 2020 comes along and we're going to augment this business model we built back in the 60s with AI. But the reality is there is so much insights happening in that contact center that benefits the entire organization. CX is no longer a functional discipline within an organization. It's a horizontal strategic uh, win. It's a differentiator. Leverage that information to make everyone better across the organization. It's not about the contact center. It's about bridging all departments in the organization together to support the customer and providing insights to the rest of the organization, and then you'll have a real differentiator. So the good news, we talked a little bit about the challenges, but there is an answer. It's not all bad. The connection first approach can solve for this in a number of ways. The first is this connected experience needs to be where as a consumer, as I go from a self-service to a live agent, and then information is fed back to me, or the agent has to feed information to other systems, that needs to be a seamless journey where knowledge and context is shared across the journey, right? Then you need to guide agents. The other thing is consistency matters. Like in all these engagements that are happening between live agents and your self-service agents, measure them the same way. Use learnings from your live agents to make your virtual agents better. Make your virtual agents provide content to your live agents so they can guide those interactions better. Take the mundane tasks off of a live agent so they don't have to update systems and toggle tasks between 6 different platforms to update notes and pull knowledge here and there. Let them do what they want to do. Let them do what customers want them to do and actually solve a problem and create a connection and leverage AI across that. So there's real benefits there. If you focus on connections, not process, it's good for both agents and it's best for the customers. And then unlock the massive amount of knowledge that exists here across the organization. Customer experience is a brand's differentiator. Customer experience is not a department. And the more organizations view that, not only from the view and the lens of a customer journey, but also in the insights they can learn to make their product better, their service better, update their marketing message, get competitive insights, leverage all that knowledge that exists when customers engage with you across the organization, and have that be a strategic seat at your table when you talk about how you want to differentiate in a very, very crowded world. And my favorite part of this journey is when you can actually say, how does this come to light? And this is an example of a Cricket. Not only they are a customer of Zoom's, but I actually am a customer of theirs as well. And there is good news that CX and AI can be leveraged, one done right, as a seamless journey, looking at the map from start, the journey from start to finish. So Cricket is one of those companies that helps bring creativity to life. If any of you are Cricket users, you know the platform, but great for memory makers and creators in the world. And the Cricket team, they were passionate about helping their customers, but their day-to-day life was like spent more time navigating systems and updating processes, and it became very hard for them to do what they wanted to do while also focusing on the customer experience. So we worked with them in partnership. Zoom came in there. With our platform, we unified all of our communication channels. We unified all of the knowledge. We unified our virtual agents. We added video to the experience to make that a more personalized experience when it was relevant. So the agents could focus on the person, not the process. And the results are shocking. I mean, they're like amazingly good when done right. Hold times dropped from 15, 20 minutes to under 2 minutes. Abandonment rates dropped 90%. Nearly half of all issues were resolved, not contained, resolved using our virtual agent. But the real win here wasn't just the stats. It was the connection that Cricut got to provide to their customers. It was the better connection agents felt with the brand. and it enabled creativity through connection. And this is what connection first looks like when you've done right and you look at the total experience. So, like, just to wrap up here, the reality is AI is not going away. It's not going away for you in your personal life. It's not going away for us in the business life. Specifically in customer experience, it will continue to evolve. It will get better. Automation will get better. Virtual agents will get better. But the brands that will win will realize that AI is not a piecemeal panacea, put it in a bucket and solve one problem at a time. Start with the end first. What are you looking to get done? Connections first is Zoom's why. We want to create connections and then work backwards. Because if you can get this right, technology will enable you to scale, but in the contact center world, connections will be your differentiator. And done right, AI will absolutely help you get there. We are addressing that head on with our connection first strategy, AI first in innovation for sure, connection first in strategy. And remember, AI is a tool, but how you deploy it and what your why is first, and you will absolutely change your business overnight. It's very exciting. Thank you.